so that I can help water other trees. Y'all are not trying to go with me. See, you can't help me flourish with some holy water and watering of the word if you in drought yourself. She said, what's with these trees? I said, I was around older Christian people who taught me how to care for plants and shrubs and trees. I said it wasn't because that's all they had to do all day, is that it was important to them that everything connected to them, human, plant, or mineral, or animal, lived. Come on, y'all know that they fed those dogs those bones when they weren't supposed to. Come on, somebody. Amen. We got more cornbread and green dogs than you've ever want to see on the planet. Work with the preacher up in here. Your dog know when you cooking macaroni and cheese. Work with the preacher. We done gave them some of everything. Amen. 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 Had some of the best fed hogs in the neighborhood. Their slop was turnips and mustards and spinach. Amen, somebody. Poke salad. We was bringing it on up. See, there I hit something in Louisiana back there. Said, See, his blood, he didn't know that, but his blood knew it. Come on, he ain't had no pork salad over in Fifth Ward. What's that, Trinity Gardens? Is it Trinity Gardens? See, I'm learning my gardens. There's a Trinity Garden, there's a Cashmere Garden. What's the other one? Houston Garden. See, y'all know it's more than one. I didn't either. Amen. I haven't forgotten where I am. Watering. Now, a lady came by with her son, and she said, she stood back and looked at the line of trees on our street. She said, our trees are dying, drying out, and we're watering them. What's the difference between what you're doing and what I'm doing? I said, well, I can only tell you what I'm doing. I can't tell you the difference. Y'all missed it. I said, I can tell you what I'm doing. I said, do you want to know what I'm doing? She said, yes, ma'am. I said, I was raised by a community of older Christian people that said, you've got to go down to the root system and give the root system some water and nutrients. Oh, y'all need to hear me. Tell somebody that's what church is all about. See, you got to go down to the root system. That's what prayer is all about. That's what fasting and prayer and shut-ins are all about. You got to go down to the root system. See, that's what the word is all about. You got to go down to the root system. She said, so that's why you have that hose with a hole going. I said, yeah, got to take care of the root system. I said, but I can't just stop there. I said, I get the trunk, then I'll come on up to the branches, and I give them some water too. She said, well, why you do that? I said, because the branches are holding up the different limbs that are holding up the different leaves. I said, so I've learned that if I'm going to keep the tree alive, I've got to dig down to the root and take care of the root. Come on, parents. Come on, grandparents. Come on, great-grandparents. I got to dig down to the root. And get some water and nutrients on it. I said, then I got to come up to the trunk and take care of it. Then I've got to go up to the limbs and the branches and take care of them. She said, I never saw anybody. She said, I want you to know we've been watching you. Said, well, I'm good. She said, you water the whole tree. I said, that's right. I said, from a healthy root system to a healthy trunk. Amen. And it goes on up to healthy limbs and healthy branches. And then if you spray all of that, you got to still spray your leaves. Look at these babies. Say, you got to take care of these leaves. You got to take care of these leaves. You don't want them to get dry and fall off. See, I got one of those yards that there's not a lot of leaves. Oh, y'all need to hear what I'm saying. There's not a lot of leaves. And she kept looking at it. I said, so I have learned from watching older Christians that you water the whole tree. Now y'all understand my pastoring style. You water the whole tree. So I'm not coming at you just for what happens with your body. I got to come at you with what happens to your soul and your spirit. Genesis 2:7, the breath of you. I'm hurrying on in. Now y'all know about what God did with Adam. Can I tell you about what he did with you? St. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, the life that lives. The life that lives. That's who he is. That whosoever believeth, not just get acquainted with, not just hear about, not just go through the motions of knowing about. Not just politically correct. I had a lady one day, I'm going to get back to the scripture. She said, oh, so you're PC. She said, what that means? She says, politically correct. She said, no, baby, I'm JC. Penny, come on, tell the Lord, thank you. That whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, won't be destroyed, but will have everlasting life. We have no concept of forever. That's why many people are afraid of dying. It's because they have no concept of forever. Look at your neighbor and say, you can stop tripping. You came from the forever zone. Watering the trees. Watering the trees. That's what you're doing here this morning. Now, while we're in St. John 3, there was a leader of the Jews, the Pharisees. They believed in the resurrection. And he came to Jesus by night. Y'all do know that there are closet Christians. They figure out a way to acknowledge everything in their company and so forth and all of the potentates, but they never call the name of the Lord, which is why they're there in the first place. He was leading other people, but the Lord said to him, what's born of the flesh is flesh. And what is born of the Spirit is spirit. Y'all, that's St. John 3:6-7. He went on to say, marvel not that I say unto thee, ye must be what? Born again. You must have the life that lives. He said, you're out here influencing people, you're out here helping people, you're out here teaching people, you're doing things with people and helping them. But you yourself need to fully understand. You got to be born again. You must have the life that lives. Flesh. What that mean? That girl looks like her mother. Whenever people see Crystal, that's one of the first things they say. Boy, she looks like her mother. Why wouldn't my baby look like me? Isn't that good? You're supposed to resemble where you come from. But what I'm glad now that they're saying is that, ooh, that girl acts like her mother. So now we're getting down to the root system. Oh, come on, somebody. Hallelujah. Now we're getting down to the root system. And when she prays in a way that's private. She has her own private worship. I don't interfere with that. The same way I do my best to try not to interfere with yours. I'm still talking about the life that lives. Do you have an intimate time with the Lord? A lot of people, Minister Sherry, say that they know the Lord, but that's not what's important in totality. Does the Lord say he knows you? That's what's important, because that's what's going to count in the end. Am I helping anybody? I'm coming on in now. The life that lives. Just lumps of clay. Then salvation comes. In St. John 1, and I want y'all to study that. It says Jesus, God through Jesus Christ, formed the whole world. And he came, verse 14, the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. He, the Word, your Bible, that word, became a human and walked down through the earth. And this is the sad thing. His creation did not recognize him. Isn't it bad? It's a sad situation for someone to be your very source of life. And you can acknowledge and recognize everybody and everything, but the very source of what gives you the life that lives. Wait a minute, but the Word of God says in that same text, it says, but to as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God. He said, why do you say and daughters? I'm not talking to your flesh. I'm talking to your spirit. Romans 8:14. For as many as are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God. So those of you all, and I was talking earlier, Sister Salika, to the people that are pew pastoring, people will tell you where they are, but they won't tell the shepherd where they are. You better stop getting in the way of a God process and tell them, be spiritually accountable according to the word. We just sheep out here grazing together. You need to touch base with the shepherd. That's who God has keeping and watching for the sheep. So in your family, and I know I'm going to hurt some feelings right here, you shouldn't have closer relationships with people who haven't done for you what those who love you and have been there have done. Don't forget Pawpaw, Poppy, Big Mama, and Madeira. Don't forget Mama. Don't forget Mother. Amen, somebody. I had to say, but you don't know what I've been through. I said, I'm seeing you right here. Look like you survived it. Come on, tell the Lord thank you. Look like he was working on the life that lives. I know that it may have been designed to destroy you, but God had his hand on you. And what was meant for evil, God has turned it to the life that lives. Give him praise up in here. Give him praise up in here. Hallelujah. I can remember when I first started in ministry, one of the first things that they had us do in seminary was always lead people in the sinner's prayer. And I've been in a couple of seminaries and graduated with honors and wrote some curriculums and so forth and so on. But I tell y'all, and I know I'm going to get some letters on this, P.O. Box 14333, Humble, Humble, Texas, 77347. That's how you get put it in writing so I can take it to the lawyer. Thank you so much. All right, here we go now. What they taught us was that we were sinners saved by grace. And that's partly true. But after you've been saved for 50 years, you shouldn't be still calling yourself a sinner. And I learned from author John Mason. Author John Mason says, we are not rebuilt sinners. We are new creation, born again Christian beings. 2 Corinthians 5:17, if any man be in Christ, he's a new creation. Old things are passed away, and behold, all things have become new. He said, you not a rebuilt hoopty. Amen. I can't hear nobody. Did I help y'all now? Look at your neighbor and say, it sounds like we're leaving Hooptyville. He said, you are a new being. See, my advantage in living up in Toledo was to see the companies that were so strong and so wealthy because they supplied parts to GM, to Cadillac, Fleetwood, Cadillac and all of that, I was right there where they had Libby Glass and Champion spark plugs and all of that. It worked for my business too, sis. I was teaching school and was a principal and all like that, but I had a gourmet gift basket company and I had a small little grocery store. Amen. So it was in a circle. It was in a circle. God is trying to get you in the circle. Work with us. God is trying to get you in the circle. God is trying to get you in the cycle of the life that lives. They don't understand. When God puts his hand on you, it tells heaven, hell, and earth that he has. And everything under the earth that he has. You worried about stuff that your mind don't need to be on. Fix the stuff that you need to fix. And let God fix what it is that it takes God to fix it. I said a word when you give God some praise right there. The life that lives. Now, when you embrace life, everything that's death is going to start to fall off. And some of you all are looking for what God has changed up. That's gone. That's not a part of who you are or what you do now. So what you're going to have to do is get into your mind that you want to live. And you want to connect with live. Let's have this time. Get before God and have some quality time. Stay down there and let God talk to you. It's not a one-sided conversation. I said we're leaving Hoopteville. See, if they got lost there, because I know when I said Hoopteville, see, they whiz showed up. The name of the lion was Fleetwood Coop DeVille. He must have been from Detroit. Come on, Lord. That's what his mama named him. You see, you're supposed to aspire to your new name. Say, I've got a new name. Your new name is child of God. Hey. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. That's what your new name is. So you need to shake off everything that doesn't go with your heritage. You got a new lineage. I thank God for my folks, but I really appreciate my family. Now give God a praise right there, because that's the word. I got the life to live. Do you commune with him, or are you always just begging? Do you talk to the Lord and tell him how much you appreciate him, or are you always asking him for something? Did God set you in the body of Christ to be an answer, or are you here being a leech? Is it that you just suck up everything and you don't give anything back? I asked them, who's for the children, who's for the babies, who's for the intermediates? Who does the junior high? Who does high school? Who does the college kids? Who does the children that want to go to college and don't have the money? Oh, you need to hear me. What about that mama that took care of her children and now she's still young enough to do something for herself? What about that daddy that's doing double duty? He's the daddy and the mama, because there's good men too. Amen, somebody. And we need to understand, you embrace the life that lives. Somebody say the life that lives. The life that lives. The life that lives. Get into the life that lives. Get a revelation on who you are. It would be sad to go to hell as a copycat. You didn't copy somebody else's life out of jealousy. You call it aspiration. But whenever you don't want to be who you were born to be, you tell God he made a mistake, and his answer is F. So if you flunk life, I doubt if heaven is where you're going. Who heard what I said? Did that help right there? I've done a lot of workshops and seminars and teaching things and all of that. They're glad to see Dr. Johnson, okay? But they're responding to Dr. Johnson, the name, more than they are Patricia Brown Johnson, who is the lady that if she can help you to help yourself, that's my reason for being there. And if y'all have been with me, y'all notice I don't stay long. Do what I'm supposed to do, and then got to get it. I've got friends now that they are now giving me back what I have lived by all my life. Daniel 11:32b. But the people that do know their God shall be strong and do exploits. He don't want to hear your excuses. Did you get it done? St. John 9:4. I must work the works of him that sent me while it's day. Night cometh, no man can work. So you went through it. Did you stay focused, and did you get it done? What is your assignment in life? What are you supposed to be doing in that family? What are you supposed to be doing in that community? A lot of people have narrowed it down to what you do at church and what you do on the job. And all that earth can give you as a certificate and that gold plated, you know it's gold plated because if you scratch it. And don't wear it too long. Ask your green arm if you think I'm lying. Amen. All those years. And they give you something that'll give you gangrene. The life that lives. Can I come to a close? You are too important to live your life as if it doesn't matter. This false thing of people really appreciating you because they scan and grin in your face, but if you really need somebody, ain't nobody coming. We got to do some regrouping, amen. Don't be angry, don't be bitter, just fix it. And you're going to have to understand what I understood. I had to go on. If I hadn't gone on, there's people who wouldn't have had any place to come to. I can't tell you that I was jumping up and down when Mama Esther and Papa sent for me and said, come back to Texas. Because other than my family, I didn't have very many good experiences here. People are very disrespectful to women in ministry. They're respectful to a woman doctor. They're respectful to a woman judge. Respectful to a woman policeman. A woman dentist. A woman school teacher. A woman principal. But they struggle with a woman preacher. I had a lady ask me one day, she said, so you a woman preacher? I said, I'm all girl, ain't nothing else I can be. Amen. Do you know him? He didn't tell me to preach Patricia. We preach Jesus. Come on. Your victory is here today. Somebody said, we preach Jesus. Give him a hand clap of praise. We preach Jesus. Hallelujah. His death, his burial, his resurrection. Come on, Captain Taylor. He took my place. Look, love, if I had died on the cross, I probably wasn't going to be getting up. But he got up. I was at a church one time, and I'm coming on to a close. Someone said, life to live. We were in a service. I sit behind my sister. And the preacher preached for 10 minutes. He died. Yes. He died. Yes. He died. Yes. 5 minutes. Did he die? Yes. 6 minutes. I know he died. Yes. 7 minutes. He died. Yes. 9 minutes. I know he died. I had about all I could take. I said, he rose. The woman in front of me said, he did, didn't he? So I said, the life that lives, standing on your feet. The Lord is breathing life into you this morning, breathing life into your situation, breathing life into your circumstance so that you can live. And you will be the key to other people living. When you've tried everything, A flat, and everything has failed, try Jesus. When you've tried everything and everything has failed, try Jesus. He'll be your constant friend. Go with you to the very end. When you tried everything and everybody, and everything is failed, try Jesus. Yes, Lord. Come on, Zion. Yes, Lord. Praise your God. Praise your God. Yes, Lord. Oh, yes, Lord. Tell the Lord yes. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Call his name. Jesus. Oh, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Give God a hand clap of praise. If you're here this morning and you haven't accepted